how to grow your shoulders fast. The shoulders are probably one of the most essential muscle groups for just developing your physique as a man. They give you that wide, strong look, and a physique isn't really complete without developed shoulders. And the shoulder is made up of three parts. So there's the front delt, the side delt, and then there's the rear delt back there. And the front delt, for most people who have been training for a few months, a couple years, will already be more developed than the other two, the side delts and the rear delts, because the front delt gets activated when you train your chest, when you do bench press or any sort of pushing movement. And a lot of people, their entire shoulder training regimen consists of just progressing in overhead press or dumbbell shoulder press. And that's cool. You do want to get stronger in the shoulder press, but the side delts and the rear delts are going to be super key for getting that overall bolder shoulder look. And a lot of times when it is an underdeveloped muscle, it's very hard to actually train it consistently just because it's a bit weaker and you're not as familiar with it, and you rather just stick with your bread and butter. You rather just stick with lifts you're used to. The way to counteract this is to just suck it up and just start training your side and rear delts with more volume, more intensity, more frequency, and earlier in the workout. It doesn't have to be your first exercise, but earlier in the workout. If you save your lagging muscle groups such as side delts for the end of your workout, only train it once a week, it's going to remain a lagging muscle group because at the end of your workout, you're already tired. You're not going to be able to give 100% focus. You're not going to be fresh. You're not going to be strong. And once a week isn't enough to really grow that muscle at the rate that you want, which is fast, right? So what you want to do is, if you're training 3 times a week, you want to train shoulders twice a week. If you train 4 to 5 times a week, you can train shoulders 3 times a week. And you only need to be focused on front pressing or heavy front pressing once a week. Because like I said, the front delt's already going to be developed from other forms of pressing, like bench pressing or even dips. So you want to focus mostly on the side delts, right? And the rear delts. So a few good exercises for the side and rear delts. Let's start with the side delts first. Is obviously dumbbell lateral raises, but also you can do single arm when you're leaning a little bit, and you can even use the cable. The main benefit of that is there's tension throughout the entire movement. So you just feel it better, and I feel like you get a much better contraction and a lot more tension on the delt. So do single arm cable side laterals, dumbbell lateral raises, and honestly, if you just progress in those 2 exercises, that's already a really good start. And as long as you get stronger in the 8 to 20 rep range in the side delts, you'll eventually grow your side delts. And what I notice is the side delts actually respond better to volume, and they don't need as much rest. So if you're doing heavy front pressing, you probably want to rest, let's say 2 to 3 minutes minimum. But if you're doing side delts, even if you are training to failure, I found you don't need to rest as long. You can rest 30 to 45 seconds and then go back and hit another set to failure. And for the rear delts, what I find is very important is actually isolating it, because the rear delts do get hit when you train the back, when you do some sort of rows and in other movements. But if you really isolate the rear delts and train to failure, you will see, progress. You'll see fast progress in the overall development of your shoulder. So 2 exercises you can try for the rear delts. Number 1 are face pulls. All you need is a cable or rope, and you're good to go. Don't go too heavy. Keep it slightly higher reps, 8 to 20. Focus on the form. And then also chest supported rear delt fly. So it's basically like you're doing a chest supported row, but then you just do a rear delt fly, right? You do these few exercises, you increase the volume, you train at the start of your workouts, and you'll give yourself the best possible chance of growing your shoulders fast. And of course, you need to have your nutrition and recovery pretty solid. It doesn't have to be perfect 8 hours of sleep every single night, perfect diet every single day, but you want to be pretty good most of the time. You want to be pretty consistent, hitting the key pillars such as protein intake, pre-bed routine, consistent sleep schedule, just doing what you can. And of course, if you make these adjustments in your training plan, you're going to see faster growth in your shoulders. But when you are prioritizing a muscle group, know that you are prioritizing a muscle group, which means you want to see faster growth in your shoulders than other areas. So don't be disappointed if the other muscle groups aren't growing as fast as your shoulders when you make this training adjustment, because that's what you want. It's okay for you to not grow your chest for a few months if it's your most developed muscle group, and just focus on growing your shoulders. Bodybuilding or building your physique is completely up to you, right? Whatever you deem as a muscle group you need to improve, that's what you should focus on. So give yourself more volume, train at the start of the workouts. And with specific to the shoulders, you want to train all three parts of it, the front, side, and rear delts, especially the side and rear delts. Don't just focus on the front. And get stronger over time, track your workouts, and you will grow your shoulders as fast as possible.